How we doing? Oh, hi, Skipper. I filed for $33,000. Now, there's a front over Ohio, but we ought to be well above it.
33,000 looks fine. How are you doing this evening, barefoot boy?
Ah, you flying Greek gods with your unchallenged feet. You had my kind of dogs, you'd probably give up shoes altogether. You will be pleased to know that our computer and your first officer's head jibe. Flight plans are identical.
What's our weather?
No problems en route. Kennedy shows a visibility of 12 miles and about a 10,000-foot ceiling.
Just in case our friends in the Weather Bureau may be slightly optimistic, what's our alternates?
Philly and Dulles, but I recommend the latter. I understand the restaurants in Washington are much better.
You got the head count?
Oh, go east, young man. Seems to be the cry of the month. You've got close to a full load, both first class and coach. 24 on the one, 73 on the other.
Oh, that's dandy. Maybe when this airline begins to show big profits, you can buy yourself some comfortable shoes. What are you giving us on fuel?
95,000 pounds. Also, you've got a 40-knot tailwind, which won't hurt a bit.
Well, look who's accompanying us on this fine, clear evening.
Don't knock it, Captain. We may not be the most efficient, but we're lovelier by far than any of the other ladies on the line. I don't believe you've met these girls. This is Virginia Morton.
How do you do?
Jane Langsford and Barbara Stewart.
How do you do? Here's all the info, Jeannie. We'll be cruising at 33,000, estimating flight time at 4 hours and 20 minutes, if you want to make a note of that for your PA announcement. And you might tell your young ladies, if you will, how I like to operate. If you have any problems in the cabin, don't keep them from the flight deck. I like coffee the minute the seatbelt sign goes off. Otherwise, I'm real easy to get along with. It looks like a pretty simple flight, but you're going to have a lot of people to take care of. Any questions, gal?
Hey, Captain, don't run off without your brain.
Thank you, old faithful. What would I do without you, Mac? See you on the plane, ladies.
Oh, excuse me. Anybody superstitious? You better not be. It doesn't become aviation people, especially half hour before a flight.
Well, how
are you today, Mr. Doucette?
Terrible. Suffering from writer's cramp.
Well, I guess every business has its drawbacks.
Yeah, I don't mind. When they stop asking for autographs, then I'll start worrying. What's the ETA?
2 a.m. New York time. Flight 6 is loading in about 20 minutes. If you'd like to wait in the lounge, I can have a special hostess meet you there with the tram.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks.
Mr. Doucette, we're tremendous fans of yours. Would you mind?
No, not at all. Was this for you, sweetheart, or is it for Mummy?
To Emily.
To Emily, love. George Doucette.
Go ahead, honey. Tell us. Go ahead.
Thank you, sweetheart.
How are you this evening, Corporal?
Why don't you go over there and sit down? I'll handle the ticket. I wonder if you'd give his name to one of the stewardesses. Have her keep an eye out on him.
Be glad to, Major. Anything special?
No, nothing special. He's just 48 hours back from Saigon. A bomb went off under his bed. He's sort of a pretty shook-up youngster.
Any special instructions?
Just keep an eye out on him. He's on his way home on furlough. Just got out of the hospital. So every once in a while, just have her looking on him, that's all.
I'll handle it, Major. Don't you worry.
Now look, Mama, you're not to be nervous. Do you hear me?
So who is nervous? Why should I be nervous, Sonia? The plane crashes, I'm dead. Why should I be nervous? What's to do?
Ma, why do you always have to talk like that?
Excuse me.
Yes?
Could you tell me the departure time of Flight 6? I can't quite make it out from here.
Flight 6? Oh, that's this flight. It's supposed to leave at 6:30.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're not going on this flight?
Oh, no. I just wanted to check it out. I got me some relatives coming here.
Well, they'd better hurry. It'll be boarding pretty soon.
Oh, thank you.
Eat oranges while I go crashing. Sonia, if Ivan and I would like to have a cup of tea, who do I ask?
The stewardess, Mama.
Oh, good.
Right, Gordy. No, Flight 6 is closed. Charlie, I'm going for coffee. Do you want anything?
Black, please.
Right. International Airlines, Mr. Willoughby speaking. I'm sorry, sir. Would you repeat that? That would be Flight 6. That departed for New York just a few minutes ago, non-stop. Excuse me, sir. I wonder if I could ask you to speak up. There seems to be some noise here. And now, sir, I wonder if you could repeat what you said. You weren't getting through to me just now.
International Airlines.
Who am I speaking to, please?
This is Frank Thompson, Special Agent in Charge, FBI, Los Angeles. Are you the person who called here earlier?
Indeed I am. How are you this evening, Mr. Thompson?
He's on too. Would you mind repeating what you told the ticket agent here?
I wouldn't mind at all. I told him I'd placed a bomb aboard your Flight 6 to New York. I presumed he'd press the button and call you people in.
When did you put the bomb on the plane, and why?
I put the bomb on the plane for a very specific reason. We'll get into all of that later, of course. But meanwhile, I'd like to establish the legitimacy of the statement. Would you be interested in knowing the type of the bomb?
I'd be interested in knowing everything. Why don't you just go ahead and take your time?
So you can trace the call? Well, let me reassure you on one point. I'm calling from a pay telephone. When this conversation is over, I'm going to another pay telephone. You see, I intend keeping in touch with you for the next several hours. It's rather important that I do. It's important for you, too, especially. Because the bomb is on the airplane. There's no doubt about that. I put it there. I'm the only one who knows where it is.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, first of all, it's an aneroid bomb, consisting of a barometer, a stepping relay which is thrown when the required altitude is reached. There's some electric wire, some dry cell batteries, an electric blasting cap, plus 2 sticks of dynamite.
Oh, you made this bomb?
Indeed, I did. With my own 2 little hands. It's compact, efficient. It's incredibly, not to say appallingly, simple.
All right, you made the bomb and you put it aboard. Now, what is it you want?
Something for something is not usually the way.
I asked what it is you want.
You want to start negotiations now?
What kind of negotiation?
I'm in desperate need of $100,000. It seems to me that any major airline that could afford to spend a few $100 million on a fleet of 797 jets could certainly afford to divest itself of a few $100,000, especially to save one of those big, shiny, expensive airplanes. I'm afraid I've been in the one place a little long. Suppose I call you back in about 20 minutes. That's the same number.
No, hold on just a minute.
Don't fret. I'll call you in about 20 minutes.
Hello? Hello? Disconnected.
Yes, he hung up. Can you determine an area for us? All right, stay on it. Think he's a crank?
I'm not sure.
What about the bomb?
He described it. It's an aneroid.
Aneroid?
Explosive device that's triggered by a change in atmospheric pressure. Well, all we can do for the moment is standard procedure. Check the passenger manifest. I'd like a line on every single person on that plane. Check the insurance policies. See if there's anything taken out that's out of line. I'd like a list of crew, caterers, anybody who had access to that plane.
We're in the process of doing that right now.
And we can also hope and pray that he is just a crank.
Well, can't we assume that he is?
No, we never assume that. Besides, this one sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Where would it be placed? Where would he put it?
Well, that's the $7 million question.
Who do I have to get in here? You guys are the bomb experts, aren't you?
Mr. Feldman, we're talking about a jet aircraft. That's 146 feet, just plumb full of hiding places.
How right you are. And how close I am to a coronary at this moment.
If you want any kind of bright side to look at, the majority of these things turn out to be so much gas.
Yeah. What about the bomb? That one there?
An altimeter needle responds to the decrease of atmospheric pressure. It acts as a switch, closing the circuit, as the needle crosses a certain contact point to the stepping relay.
You want to give me that reading in English? Something a poor, dumb airline supervisor would understand?
principle's easy to understand, Mr. Feldman. The bomb is activated after a certain point, after the aircraft takes off. When the plane descends, the circuit is closed again, and the second step of the relay is activated. That connects the current to a blasting cap which fires and explodes the dynamite.
That would mean?
That would mean that there's no way on Earth that plane could land without getting blown to pieces.
How are things back there?
I must live right. A tall, dark, handsome stranger has just entered my life.
Control yourself, Jeannie. This isn't like you.
I never saw George Doucette in person before.
Play your cards right here, put you in the pictures.
Oh, he doesn't have to. Just having him aboard has made my day. Certainly better than those middle-aged businessmen with 8 hands. Hey, don't shake him up. I don't want him airsick.
Trust me to find the best altitude. This is like a washboard road.
Well, buzz me if you need me.
But only if it's urgent, right?
You want me to ask her something else?
Yeah, ask him if we can climb to 41,000. That ought to get us above this choppy stuff.
Los Angeles Center, this is International Flight 6. Request permission to climb to 41,000, over.
1 minute, International 6. You're at 33,000.
That's affirmative.
6, you have a TWA flight at 41,000, about 100 miles ahead of you. We can give you 37,000.
Okay, Skipper.
Okay, we'll try that.
International 6, now leaving 33. We'll report at 37, over.
Roger, 6. Things are getting so sophisticated they'll be flying themselves pretty soon. We'll die of boredom before we die of old age. Those guys at Meridian get all the fun now. They at least get an occasional Cuban hijacker. All we get are tall, dark, and handsome television actors. There are odd and perverse moments when I wish I was back with the 8th Air Force. At least I never got bored then.
Yes?
Mr. Thompson?
Right here.
How are things, Mr. Thompson? A little panicky, are they?
We'll get by. What's on your mind?
I presume you've checked out my bomb description. The principle's been verified.
We're working on it.
I've no doubt. Well, I can tell you the following, Mr. Thompson. Much of this, I'm sure, you found out for yourselves. The bomb is set to go off when the plane begins its letdown.
At what altitude?
Well, let's just say it's below 10,000 feet.
I suppose you're sure of that, huh?
Mr. Thompson, I wouldn't be on the phone with you if I weren't sure. And I am sure. I'm also sure that your pilot can save himself a great deal of trouble, not bothering to break his back tearing up the aircraft. If it were in the baggage compartment, he couldn't get to it. Not in flight. You knew that yourself, didn't you?
Yes. Go on.
Well, I'm simply telling you that he can save himself time and trouble, not ripping up his plane. It won't do him any good.
Maybe you could tell me what would do him some good.
I don't mind in the slightest. I'd like a paper sack full of small, used, unmarked bills. I haven't decided yet where I want you to put that sack. But in the course of our conversations in the next few hours, I'll decide where and tell you.
Hello? Hello?
I'll call you in another half hour.
Getting along all right?
Fine, thanks.
You were in Vietnam.
Yes, ma'am.
Why not try loosening up just a little bit, huh? Try? Hmm?
Hi, Mac.
This is our chief pilot, Bob Shea. I'm sorry, gentlemen, I don't think I remember your names.
I'm Agent Thompson, Agent Balaban.
Glad to know you.
Anybody fill you in, Mr. Shea?
Only that there's a bomb on our Flight 6. Some kind of pressure bomb?
It may be a hoax, but we can't treat it as one.
Anybody contacted the flight?
That's what we're supposed to do now, Bob. We thought you ought to be around when we did it.
Better get on the pipe and get it done in a hurry. Get ATC, have them contact that flight, and have them call us here. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that's the best procedure. What kind of men have you got on that aircraft, Mr. Shea? I mean, how are they going to take this?
If you were 30-odd thousand feet in the air and somebody told you you had a bomb on board, how would you take it?
I'm not sure. I never piloted a plane with a bomb on board.
Neither of those guys up there.
ATC. Say again, please. International Flight 6. Roger, will do. International Flight 6, International Flight 6. This is Los Angeles Air Traffic Control Center. Come in, please.
This is International 6. Go ahead, Center.
International 6, contact your company dispatch immediately. This is an emergency.
ATC says call dispatch. Some kind of an emergency.
Frequency 128.9.
Dispatch, this is 6. Are you trying to raise us over?
Affirmative, 6. We've had a bomb threat here. Some character claims he's put an aneroid explosive device on your aircraft. He doesn't say where, but we figured we'd better give you all the info we've got.
Do you get that, Skipper?
I got it. I just don't know what to do with it. Dispatch, this is Captain Anderson. Before we go pouring through the manual, can you advise where we might start looking for this gizmo?
Negative, 6. Just a second. The chief pilot's here. I'll put him on.
Hello, Anderson. This is Shea here.
Listen, the first thing I want you to do is change your heading. Circle until further orders. Here's the reason. It's all we've got to go on, and it all may be a hoax.
But the FBI tells me that the guy who phoned in knows a lot about bombs.
So I think we have to go on the following assumption. You've got a bomb on board.
Set to go off as you descend. You've got to find that bomb.
Shea, as far as I can tell, the only place we can reach from here is lower 34. We'll lift the hatch and let you know.
Okay. In the meantime, continue circling.
Roger. Does ATC know what's going on?
They've been alerted now. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Okay, changing to center frequency 206.8. Lift the hatch to lower 34 and see what you can find.
Roger.
What are we looking for, Skipper? Can you tell me?
An aneroid bomb.
A what?
An aneroid bomb.
Aneroid bomb. Skipper, one question.
Go.
You wouldn't happen to have a parachute on board, would you?
Mr. Thompson.
Your dispatcher is contacting your flight now.
Mr. Thompson, this is Dan Seaton, UPI. He's got a nose for things.
What about it, Mr. Thompson? There's a flight in trouble, isn't there?
Sorry, no comment.
You want to give me an official version, or do I print rumors?
I've already told you, no comment from this end either. No official story, no press release is prepared. We have no aircraft down, that's it.
What about you, Mr. Thompson? What are you doing here?
I can only tell you we're here to determine whether there's any violation within FBI jurisdiction. So, sorry. Excuse me.
I want to know what it is you're investigating. Your flight 6 to New York that might not get down, is that it?
I can't tell you what to print, Dan, or what not to print. But just man to man, I can offer you a very strong recommendation to just sit on this one.
You got my word.
There's an aneroid bomb aboard Flight 6.
Well, it's some kind of pressure thing, isn't it?
It's set to go off, or at least it's supposed to go off when the aircraft descends.
That is?
We've been on the phone off and on since 7 o'clock with a character who claims he's put it on board.
In baggage?
He says no. We can't reach the baggage in flight.
We have any idea who he is?
We have an idea, one. But you understand why this one shouldn't leave the building, at least for the time being?
Yeah, I understand. Rough night, isn't it?
You can bet on it.
Mr. Thompson, you mind if I ask you a question?
You mind if I don't answer it?
Must be especially tough for you guys on occasion, isn't it? I mean, having to play it cool and dispassionate. Kind of like a surgeon with a nice guy on the operating table. Thing like that.
What are you getting at?
But just as a preliminary, I went through the passenger manifest. There's a Mrs. Elizabeth Thompson. Any relation, Mr. Thompson?
You might say so. She's my wife.
I didn't know.
You make a lovely tea. You really do.
Thank you.
Now tell me this. What's a nice girl like you doing way up here in the sky?
Just lucky, I guess. Would you care for more?
No, thank you. I think I just sit here and hate my son-in-law. You got children?
2 daughters. Teenagers.
God willing. They shouldn't marry men like my daughter's husband. What does your husband do?
He's with the government.
The government? Mm-hmm. You shouldn't worry. Maybe he ain't so old he wouldn't change.
What do you see? Anything?
Well, there's nothing down here that shouldn't be here.
Okay, come on back up, and we'll figure out step 2, then 3 and 4, and whatever other steps we've got time for.
Is there something I can do for you, Mr. Doucette?
Did you have mine? I'm sorry. That's a line from an old play. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'd like a glass of water. But wait, in a real glass, not those paper cups, huh?
1 glass coming up.
Thanks. You, based in New York?
Yes.
It's a great little town. I spend half my time there, between interviews and panel shows. I got a house in Malibu, an apartment in Hollywood, and I keep a suite reserved 52 weeks a year at the Sherry.
Really?
Yeah, but that suite is great. 2 stories, bedroom upstairs, real fireplace, and a view of the park that just doesn't quit from French windows. We love it.
Sounds lovely.
So you like to dance?
Sometimes.
Have you learned the Barracuda yet?
No. I just heard of it last week.
Oh, well, then you're in luck because you're talking to an expert. I'll tell you what. I think I'm free tomorrow night. Why don't you call me at the hotel and come on over about 8 o'clock, and I'll have some dinner set up. We'll relax, lounge around, look at the view. Then I'll give you some free lessons.
I'm sure you would.
Sweetheart, I'm an honest, straightforward guy. I don't beat around the bush.
You certainly don't, and neither do I. So let's start with the cigar. That's against the rules. And so is the rest of the pitch.
Well, suit yourself. But you'll be missing an evening to remember.
Of that I have no doubt.
Tell me something, will you, Jeannie? You've flown a lot longer than I have. What generally happens when you get a bomb threat?
What does one do to get a cup of coffee around here? Send through a requisition order to the captain?
Just ask, mister. Coffee's no problem.
Hello?
Mr. Thompson,
Right here.
you've been a busy boy, I imagine.
Yeah, I'd say that. That's right. He's back.
You've been in contact with the aircraft?
Look, get to the point, will you?
That plane should be over the Grand Canyon now, but circling.
Now, you told me that you wanted $100,000 in small bills unmarked in a paper bag somewhere. Now, where is it that you want this bag, and when do you want it?
You're prepared to comply.
We're prepared to discuss it with one major proviso. Concurrent with giving you the money, we want to know the exact location of that bomb and how we get to it. Something for something, as you say. Money for the lives of some innocent people.
You're touching me, Mr. Thompson. You really are. But we're getting closer to home now, aren't we? You know it isn't just some crank. I suppose you've looked in lower 34.
Look, let us worry about that. Now, where do you want the money and when do you want it?
Now listen to me, Mr. Thompson. And listen very carefully. Because if there are any slip-ups, you'll have kissed off one jet aircraft and all its passengers. I want the money placed in a paper bag and left at the information desk at the airport. A messenger will pick it up there. He will have had his instructions as to where it is to be delivered. He'll be picking it up in less than an hour, so you'd better get right on it. And you might tell the assorted official gentry, who by now are swarming all over the case, that if anybody tries to follow the messenger or go where he goes, you will have blown the whole thing. And I use the word blown advisedly.
Hello? Hello?
He hung up.
Lower 34 is the first place they looked. With your permission, I'd like to call the president of the line and tell him to get the money ready as per instructions. Any objection?
No, go ahead.
I've got a cold, sinking sensation that this bird is no crank. Not only does he know bombs, he knows the inside of a 797.
Foster, I want you to alert all West Coast officers to contact the personnel managers of all aircraft companies. Tell them to start checking on the backgrounds of all employees fired in the last couple of years.
That's quite an assignment.
Yes, it is. But you can narrow it down slightly. See if their qualification sheets mention anything like demolition, aircraft, construction, engineering, anything of a related nature. Now get on it.
Information Center. Right. It'll be picked up in less than an hour. That's right, sir. That's what he's asked for. No, sir. No assurances whatsoever. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm still here. Just looking at the clock. That's all. Just looking at the clock.
International 6, this is Los Angeles Center. Turn left to 005 to establish radar identification. International 6, roger. Okay, 6. We have you on radar contact. What is your present altitude?
Present altitude is 37,000.
Roger, 6. Please maintain 37,000 until further notice.
We've cleared all airspace below if you have to come down in a hurry.
That's very decent and thoughtful of you. And it's our urgent hope up here that when we do come down, it'll be in one piece.
Can you give us any more information on that bomb threat?
International 6, your chief pilot's here. He's in the center now.
Anderson, what about lower 34? Find anything?
Negative, Shay. Just a lot of wiring, but nothing that looks like an aneroid bomb. Any other suggestions?
We've been on the phone to the aircraft manufacturer. They tell us that the only other place that bomb could be where you could possibly reach it would be in the cabin.
A cabin? Now, just where would they suggest we start looking there?
They tell us you're going to have to start checking the seats. And ask the flight engineer if he's got some kind of tool that he can use on the ceiling panels and the cabin walls.
Shay, any college freshman psychology major will be able to tell you what'll happen if we start tearing up that cabin. There'll be 100 panicky people trying to crawl up the walls and getting out of the windows.
Anderson, the guy making those threats has been on the phone to the FBI. He says we'll never find the bomb no matter where we look.
He even mentioned lower 34. Nevertheless, I don't think you've got any choice.
You better get on the pipe right away, make as calm a PA announcement as you can, and then start ripping that cabin apart. Have all the stews collect the hand luggage and check that first.
All right, if that's the way you people see it. You wouldn't like to compose my PA announcement for me, would you, Shay?
Make it intelligent and reassuring. You can get down to cases with them. You don't have much choice. In the meantime, keep us informed on your fuel consumption.
What have you got left now?
About 4 hours if we reduce power. But we're also picking up a headwind, about 40 knots. You want us to circle where we are or continue on toward L.A.?
Where are you now exactly?
90 miles east of Las Vegas.
Continue circling until further instructions.
Roger.
You in on all that? Send one of the stews in and I'll charge headfirst into the Valley of Public Relations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Anderson speaking. We have turned away from our normal course and are at the present time circling. We've had a communication from Los Angeles. It appears there's been some kind of bomb threat. Now, it's standard operational procedure in cases like this that the aircraft does circle until further information is received. Hopefully, this won't hold us up too much longer. I can assure you, however, that while this is hardly a normal occurrence, we are fully prepared to handle it. I'm going to turn on the seatbelt sign now and the no smoking sign, and we'll continue to circle until further information is received. I'll be keeping in touch with you from your flight deck as frequently as possible. There is no cause for alarm. I'll repeat that. There is no cause for alarm. Just please remain in your seats. Collect all hand luggage.
Right. Does it look serious?
Who knows? Clear your lounge and I'll send Chips back there with you to go through the luggage.
Well, do you think there's something to it?
Honey, baby, you just go back there and put on your happy mask. And if anybody gets panicky or out of line or out of hand, let me know right away. Now get to that luggage. And if that doesn't work, we're going to have to dismantle this aircraft in flight until all that's left are 4 Pratt Whitney engines and 100 suits of various types of underwear.
What does the bomb look like?
That's another thing we're going to have to play by ear. Take care of it, will you, Jeannie? What did I say a few minutes ago about boredom? I wish somebody would come in here and saw my tongue off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Anderson again. Your stewardess will come around and collect your hand luggage. Now, please don't be alarmed. This is part of the precautionary measures we always take. Please don't be alarmed, ladies and gentlemen. This is just one of the precautionary measures.
you running, an auction?
Mr. Doucette, the captain asked that you remain seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Oh, yeah? Who's flying up there? Mussolini? What's all this about? I mean, level, will you? Are they kidding? A bomb?
Into every life, a little demolition must fall.
So that's why you're going through that hand luggage, right? You expect to find the bomb in there?
We hope so. If there's anything to find. Now, will you please be seated?
Now, wait a minute, honey. If there's a bomb, why don't we land the airplane? What's all this about? Flying around in circles looking through hand luggage.
Mr. Doucette.
All right, I'll put the question to you. Why don't we just land the airplane? I mean, what's this fooling around with hand luggage? I mean, that's for nothing. I know enough about flying to know that if you get a bomb threat, you land the airplane. This doesn't make sense. Now, look.
Sir, the captain has asked that you return to your seat. Now, either you do as he's requested, or I pick you up, put you over my shoulder, and carry you back there.
Well, I don't suppose you think you're going to try that, are you?
You want me to try, Mr. Doucette?
All right, I'll give you the benefit, pal, but I tell you this. I put in a lot of hours flying. But this thing is brand new to me.
It's brand new for us, too, sir. Now, you count on that.
Miss? Bomb? He did say bomb, didn't he?
Bomb threat, Corporal. We get them on occasion, and usually they don't mean a thing.
I wouldn't give a plug nickel for what these dames tell you, soldier. This is a lot worse than they're making out.
Mr. Doucette, why don't you just go outside and play?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be all right. Believe me.
You got a package for Speedy Jet delivery?
That's right. Are you from Speedy Jet?
Well, that's the way it reads on my coat, anyway.
You got here fast. You drive all night, do you?
Me? No, I'm off around midnight. What's it like working for the airlines? Hours any good?
That's a living. I think I'd prefer to carting packages around all hours of the night to who knows where.
Oh, it depends on the hour. The freeways are clear now.
Sign here.
Well, see you around.
LA 107, LA 107, San Diego Freeway, head west. LA 231, LA 231, subject is delivery truck, Speedy Jet Messenger Service heading west. Join Santa Monica Freeway at point 3, Santa Monica Freeway at point 3. LA 111, LA 111, Ventura Freeway east, Ventura Freeway east. Then stand by, please. Stand by all cars.
Pick up a package at the Northfield Liquor Store at the corner of Sunset Boulevard and 27th Street in Santa Monica. They'll have a delivery address there for you.
Roger. Special Agent Balaban.
Troubles?
Are you alone here?
That's right.
You got a call about an hour ago to pick up a package from the International Airlines at the airport.
That's right. Our guy checked in about 15 minutes ago. He picked it up and he's on his way to the valley with it now.
What's the address on the other end?
Hold it, let me check. Here it is. Guy's name is Jones. He's supposed to call me and tell me what the address is.
He hasn't called yet?
No, not yet. What's going on?
I'll explain later. Give me a signal when he calls.
Will do.
Mr. Thompson, Mr. Reardon, Personnel Director of Spencer Aviation.
How do you do, sir? What do you have, Mr. Reardon?
A headache and the blues.
This was to have been my first 8 hours sleep in about 2 weeks.
Sorry for the inconvenience. After you, huh?
I've gone through the list of every man we've canned in the last year. I don't think we can find any links for you, Mr. Thompson.
Well, what about that designer that you were talking about? Now, they fired a man about 6 months ago that was doing some blueprint work for them. Now, he had a degree in aeronautical engineering. He was also a demolition expert during the war. What about him?
Well, it's just it. He's located again. He went back to the East Coast. Oh, he's a little eccentric, but he's a good man. I don't see how he could be the one.
Get a line on him. Now, we have a telephone number and address in Scarsdale, New York. Now, I phoned the New York office. They're checking it out right now. Now, what makes you think he might not be the right man?
Well, he's just not the kind of a guy who'd put a bomb in an airplane, that's all. He's a college graduate, married man, family. Nah, it just doesn't figure.
Okay, anything else? Well, the stuff keeps dribbling in about every 10 minutes. Names, qualifications, the works. So far, nothing seems to add up. Well, let that add up in a hurry.
Speedy Jet, messenger service. Yes, sir. That's 1963 Hidden Valley Road. 1963 Hidden Valley Road. Oh, yes, sir. We were waiting for your call. Our truck is probably close to there now. I'll give him a call. That was your guy.
Okay. Zero your driver in. Have him head for that address.
Joey, number 3. Come in.
This is Balaban. The address for the delivery is 1963.
Come in.
Hidden Valley Road.
Come in, Joey. Joey, number 3, come in. Joey, number 3, come in. Come in, Joey.
Hold it.
That's funny. I can't seem to raise the truck.
I seen him skid. Must have been going about 55 or 60 miles an hour. I was about 100 feet behind him. All I could do to stop when I did.
Stand back, she's gonna blow!
Feldman, wait a minute, he's outside. Thompson!
Thompson. What? Yes. Yes, all right, I've got it. Yeah, keep in touch.
What happened?
The delivery truck was in an accident, was blown up. Driver was badly hurt, but he'll survive. Your 100,000 went up with the truck.
Great. Just what we needed. What about the address where the truck was headed?
Empty house in the process of being torn down. The bomber was probably waiting there for the package.
No money? No man, we can forget the phone calls.
You think so?
Don't you?
I'm not sure. He'll probably call again. Maybe we can set up another payoff.
It's 10:30.
I know, Mr. Feldman.
Sorry. Between you and me and this crummy office, let me hear it, will you? What kind of a chance do we have? I mean, really have.
Thompson. Yes. Yes. All right, keep checking the lists. We had a line on a Spencer Aviation employee, somebody with demolition experience.
And?
Checks out properly. He's in the East. He lives there now. Your question about the actual honest odds, Mr. Feldman. I don't know. But don't lose faith. There are about 1,000 names being juggled right now. looking for a malcontent with know-how. We may come up with somebody. You never know.
How long have you been married, Thompson?
It'll be 13 years in November. Did you get the tense, Mr. Feldman? I said will be 13.
Darling, forgive. How do you spell testament?
T-E-S-T-A-M-E-N-T. A will?
What else? So what good? What's to leave behind? Some cheap luggage with stickers on them. Hotels in Miami. Hotels in California. Hotels in Puerto Rico. That's all that's left after 60-odd years. Luggage sticker.
Virginia, take care of her. This stuff is contagious, and if it starts to spread, we're in deep trouble. Corporal, we need you on our side.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's just that
I understand. You know what it's like, and we don't. And by everything that's right and holy, you should have the rest of your life to get over it. But unfortunately, somebody's just taken away your time. You've got to lick it. Now.
Now?
Now.
Nothing. We'll have to start on the seats and galleys. Tell the captain that the hand luggage is clean. Needle in a haystack.
What did you say?
I said needle in a haystack. And just stay put, Needle. We're on our way.
Same thing, sir?
Same thing.
That was bourbon, wasn't it? Trouble at home?
What's that supposed to mean?
No offense. I was just noticing that you're using the phone a lot. You were in here about an hour ago, too. Most guys who spend that much time on the phone, well, they usually talking to the little woman.
What are you, a big-time psychologist?
Now, take it easy, buddy. I was just trying to make conversation.
Well, make it somewhere else. I'm paying for your bourbon, not your conversation.
Okay, okay.
What time is it?
10 after 11.
Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, you are unhappily devoid of honor.
Listen, the money was en route to you. The truck was in an accident. It burned and blew up. The airline people are putting together another package for you right at the moment.
Do you know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
By way of reminder, it's about 11:15.
Now, look, sir.
That's typical, you know, what had happened. That's typical. It's the story of my life.
Look, what difference does another hour or so make? You'll get your money.
I don't believe you, Mr. Thompson. I think you've double-crossed me. But you're making a mistake. Because the bomb is on Flight 6.
I believe you, but I'm telling you the truth. You can call the Valley Hospital in Encino. That's where the truck driver was taken. You can also call any police station in Los Angeles. They'll have a report on the accident now.
I don't want to go to the trouble, Mr. Thompson. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll think about it some. You hang on to the money for a while. I'll figure something out.
Now, wait a minute. Listen.
Did you ever have one of those days?
What are you talking about, Lesson? Your business is your business.
You know something? I just figured something out. Let me have another drink. Know thyself.
What?
Know thyself. I don't think I've been knowing myself. It isn't the money. I thought it was the money. But it isn't the money after all. It's the kicks.
Whatever you say, pal. It's the kicks.
Let's all have a drink. Come on, huh, friends? Let's have a drink with me.
What is it, your birthday?
Oh, it's much better than my birthday. It's 11:15.
Okay, it's 11:15. So what's so special about 11:15?
Everything about tonight is special. Tonight, the worm turned. Tonight, the meek inherited the earth. At least he knew he could if he wanted to. You spend your whole life doing nothing, having nothing, wanting everything. All of a sudden, your ship comes in. Hey. Understand the metaphor? The ship comes in.
That must have been some ship.
Some ship indeed. How right you are. Some ship indeed.
It's 11:40. Do you know that?
Yeah, only too well. These are personnel sheets.
See anything from him?
Apparently not. But there are 5 companies still at work on it. This list isn't even 10%. Also, there isn't a name on here that would fit the qualifications of our men.
No engineer? Maybe chemical engineer?
Few, but all reputable and all accounted for. Well, it was a long shot, maybe $1 million to 1.
It didn't have time to pay off.
No. Not at 11:40. Tell me something, Mr. Feldman. Just between you and me. How long can a jet airplane stay in the air?
On a coast-to-coast flight, maybe 7 hours. No more. Go ahead, Mr. Thompson, say it.
Say what?
Whatever it is on your mind now, make it clear as I can't take much more tonight.
I was thinking of 2 unrelated things. First and most obvious, it's almost 12 o'clock. That plane has been up for over 5 hours.
Why doesn't that kook call? Why doesn't he call? A $7 million airplane and 100 lives. All of it tied to survival by one thin, lousy telephone wire. Ring! Why don't you ring?
Yes. What's lost? Chips. Yeah. Well, you should be able to feel.
Well, what did you find?
Nothing. Nothing in the seat so far, nothing in the hand luggage.
Los Angeles and route control. This is International 6. Report search for bomb negative. Estimated fuel exhaustion time now 1 hour and 30 minutes. We'll start on the cabin linings, but there are sections we don't have the tools for. Over.
Stand by, 6.
Anderson, we've got the FAA here and the FBI. They both feel it's imperative that you get that lining off.
It's the only place the bomb could be.
We'll have to use an axe on part of it, then.
Then use it. You're running out of time, Anderson.
What goes on? Hey, what do you got up front? Some flyers or a wrecking crew?
Mr. Doucette, please sit down.
Honey, baby, I'll sit down when I'm ready to sit down. You're tearing this plane to pieces. You're gonna make it crash. Why don't we just land? I mean, there are plenty of alternate fields. Plenty of them. I'll tell you what we should be doing here. We should be forcing the pilot to make a landing. That's what we should be doing. Instead of just sitting here while he rips the plane apart.
Mr. Doucette, you heard what the lady said.
I heard what the lady said, but did you hear what I said? I said we should be landing.
Sit down. They told you to sit down, buddy.
Look, I didn't want to upset you, General. You know what it's like. You know what a bomb can do. So I thought it was about time we did something.
I'll give you the word. Now, you sit down over there and you breathe through your nose. They're doing all they can. That's good enough for me. If you want to register any more complaints, you register them over here. Understand?
Chalk up one for the U.S. Army.
Airline qual sheets, personnel records, that sort of thing. They're still coming in.
Anything?
Oh, no, sir. Not much of anything yet.
Thompson in there?
Yes, sir.
12:25.
Thompson.
Salutations, Mr. Thompson. How's by you?
The airline people have arranged to have another bag of money delivered to you. Now, where and when do you want it?
Where and when? Hold off a moment. I don't require it.
Then what do you want?
What do I want? I really don't hunger for anything at the moment. I'm quite contented.
The money can make you even more content.
Oh, come on now, Mr. Thompson. Don't con me. I'm a little drunk now, but I'm way beyond the point of being conned.
Look, the airline's people are willing to hold up their end of the bargain. The question is, are you willing to hold up yours? Now, when do we get the location of that bomb?
We are impatient, aren't we, Mr. Thompson?
Well, we are not impatient. I can't speak for the 100 people up in that airplane. I don't know anything about their patience.
Can you picture it, Mr. Thompson? Can you imagine what's going on up there? Must be a madhouse, an absolute madhouse. I can just see the captain running back and forth, trying to pilot the plane and tie down the passengers at the same time.
You're enjoying this a lot, aren't you?
No, Mr. Thompson. A little restraint, please, a little restraint. Listen, I was having a drink just now. As a matter of fact, I was having several drinks. What would you call 0 hour, Mr. Thompson?
Look, mister.
It's now 12:30 by my figuring. Flight 6 is just a little more than an hour to stay up there, am I right?
Go on.
And then after 1 hour, Newton's law has to go into effect. You know, Newton's law, Mr. Thompson. Everything that goes up has to come down.
You ought to remember that law, too. It applies to airplanes and to bomb planters as well.
Threats. You just don't know on what level to reach me, do you, huh? Pleading, threatening, you just don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, this I have no doubt. What kind of questions?
You know all about airplanes, don't you?
Believe it.
How come?
There you go again. All the subtlety of the shillelagh. Don't sidestep with me, Mr. Thompson. Don't try to come in through the back door. I'm on to you. I may call you later. I may not. But if I decide I want the money after all, you will be hearing from me.
When? He hung up. Did you get it?
If this goes on, we'll have to have some help. Tell the captain.
Okay.
Nothing.
What's it like back there?
Omaha Beach.
Okay. Los Angeles Center, International 6.
Go ahead, 6.
We're at a dead end here.
The cabin looks like the bomb already went off. There's no trace of anything. I'd like some instructions.
What's your fuel exhaustion time, please?
We estimate 1 hour.
Your chief pilot will be contacting you in a few minutes.
Thank you.
We've got a lot of frightened people back there, Captain. A couple of them are in pretty bad shape. Stu's going to need some help.
Go back there with Chips and do what you can. Joe, after you finish settling everybody down, come back here and hold my hand. You're looking at one frightened airline captain.
He's still here, huh?
Still here.
Look, pal, I hate to do this, but it's a slow night. No, it's getting late. It's 12:45.
12:45.
I'm glad to see you can still focus.
Huh. You think I'm drunk, huh?
I think you're pretty well on the way.
You're an expert.
Look, I'm tired, and I want to close early. So why don't you go home and have yourself a nice late snack?
Nice late snacks. It's all I've ever had all my life. Nice late snacks. I've never had an 8-course meal.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next Thanksgiving, you give me a buzz and I'll invite you over. How's that?
That's just a figure of speech, you understand. But you know, it's been proved beyond a doubt. I can do anything I want to. That's what's been proved tonight. Anything I want to.
Buddy, I'm sure you're telling the truth. You're Batman, you're Tarzan, all rolled into one. But I'm closing up now, and I can't as long as you're still in here.
Give me some change, huh? For a telephone.
What do you think this is, AT&T? Now, I'm going to tell you something, pal. Now what's the matter? You getting sick? Hey. What's this, nitroglycerin? You got a bum ticker? My wife's brother's got the same thing. He uses the same kind of pills. Look, I'm sorry I sounded off at you like that. I didn't know you were sick. You want a drink? All right.
Hey, take a look at me, huh?
I am.
Go on, have a look at me.
I am.
Take a look at me. What do I look like to you? Huh?
Well, you look like one sick cookie to me, buddy.
That's right. Correct. I'm one sick cookie. That's what I got to show for it. A ticket. Eyesight gone. $10 in the bank. And what do those bums care? You give them 15, 20 years of your life, and what do they care? But now, you know, it doesn't matter anymore. Because now I know what the potential is. See? I don't have to have $10 in the bank. See? I could have 100,000, 200,000.
Well, that's real nice of you.
Listen to me. You know what I did? I slipped it to him tonight, see?
You did, huh?
I really slipped it to him, boy. I let him have it. And boy, I really let them have it. They're being paid off, and they're still being paid off. They thought I was just a mechanic. That's what they thought. Me, a mechanic. That's what they thought. A mechanic? Why, I'm an engineer. Sure, I'm an engineer, and I'm more than I could fly any plane to the air. And I'm even more than that, too. I'm a chemist. A chemist. Yeah. I'm everything. That's what I am. I'm everything.
Miss, what's going to happen now? Well, the captain is in touch with Los Angeles, and we'll be getting information as soon as he has it. Thank you. Anything new? Not that I've heard. We'll have to descend soon, bomb or no bomb.
In a half hour, well, say maybe 40 minutes at the most. It's got to come down. Yeah, absolutely got to come down. Yeah, 4,000 feet. And then she's gonna have to come down 4,000 feet and then... And you know something else? I'm not gonna tell him. I'm not going to tell him where it is.
Wait, what is?
Are you serious? The bomb. I'm not going to tell him where I put the bomb.
Look, you want a doctor?
No. Me? A doctor? I don't need a doctor. They're going to need a doctor. Yeah. Or maybe a coroner. That's what they're going to need. A coroner. I'm going to tell him now.
Tell him what?
Hey, what about my change?
Okay.
You know something? I don't think it'd be fair to make him sweat anymore. Considering what I'm going to tell him now, I don't think it'd be fair at all.
Who do you want to call, pal?
Who do you think? That crummy, rotten airline, that's who. Probably out of their minds by now. Absolutely out of their minds. They couldn't find that bomb in a million years.
What bomb, Sport? What bomb are you talking about?
The bomb. The bomb. The one I put in the plane.
Hey. Look, pal, you're feeling under the weather. Why don't I make that call for you, huh? Give me the number and I'll make the call for you.
Adams 14699. And let me tell you something. They're bleeding now. I'll bet you they're bleeding. They've torn that plane apart from nose to tail, and they haven't found anything. And hey, wait a minute. You think you're pretty smart, don't you?
What do you mean?
You thought I'd forget to ask about my change, huh? Listen, buddy, I want my change, and don't forget that.
Sure, Sport. I'll see that you get your change. Hello, who am I talking to? No, it isn't, mister, but I think he's sitting here a few feet from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. We have been in constant touch with Los Angeles, and very shortly, it appears, we'll be making our descent into whatever airport is designated for us. We may get a little busy up here, so I may not be making any further announcements. If, however, you do notice a reduction in the noise level of the engines, don't be alarmed. This will simply announce that our descent is being made. Later on, you may hear the sound of our wheels being lowered, and this, too, is normal. Hey, Joe.
Sir?
Look at it this way. Anybody can fly a plane to New York. But how many crews actually wind up with a bomb?
So that makes us anointed, huh?
That makes us a definitive chapter in a textbook. What we do, how we operate, how we handle it. They'll be talking about this flight for a lot of years.
Hey, Skipper, if they do write this chapter you're talking about, I hope I'm around to read it.
I wonder what they're doing back in L.A. You suppose they ever found that guy?
Oh, relax. The line was busy. We can try him again in a few minutes. Have another drink while you're waiting.
Ever seen anything brighter than those fuel flow gauges? 3,200 pounds per engine.
Yeah, we're cutting it real fine now, Skipper.
We sure are. Raise L.A. Tell them we've got 30 more minutes of fuel. Then tell them they'd better give us landing instructions or...
Or what?
Or the lyrics to any appropriate hymn.
relaxed. He's sound asleep. He wasn't going nowhere.
What did he tell you? Did he say where he put the bomb?
No, just the fact.
Come on, he must have told you something.
When he sobers up, you'll be able to get it out of him.
If he sobers up, it won't be in this world. He's dead.
His lips are all blue. Heart attack, probably. That's what it looks like.
You sure picked a lousy time to die, mister. All right, sir, you're gonna have to help us. You're gonna act like a human tape recorder. Sit down. I want to know every word he said to you tonight. Every word.
International 6, this is Los Angeles Center. Go ahead, Center, this is 6.
What is your fuel exhaustion time, please?
Approximately 18 to 20 minutes. We're down to 2,000 pounds per engine.
International 6, we've cleared all fields within
Close radius of you. Advise which one you want to use. We can't make L.A.
Las Vegas? I love gambling.
International 6, contact your company dispatch
office immediately. This is an emergency.
What isn't tonight? Get them. Dispatch, this is 6.
Anderson, Shay here. The FBI's found out that bomb is set to go off at 4,000 feet.
4,000? Thanks a lot. What good is that?
Listen. Can you make Denver?
Denver? Stapleton Field. Altitude 5,250 feet, am I right?
You are so right. Can you make it?
I don't know, Shay, but we can sure try. Los Angeles Center, International 6. We're going to try to make Denver. We estimate distance at roughly 200 miles. We've got a 100-knot tailwind, and we'll set up for maximum range. The fuel is more important than the speed.
International 6, did you say Denver? We have you cleared in Vegas.
Denver is over 5,000 feet altitude. If that bomb is really set to go off at 4, then this is the one way we've got to lick it.
Flight 6, you are cleared, present position, direct to Denver, to cruise 37,000 until contacted by the Denver Center. We are notifying Denver.
Captain, if we're lucky, the fumes will get us in. Otherwise... Denver Center. Denver Center, this is International 6. Request straight-in approach. We've just about headed on fuel now. Over.
Acknowledge, Flight 6. Your weather here is scattered clouds at 8,000 feet. Visibility 6 miles. Wind is southwest at 5 knots. Altimeter 2995. You're clear for straight-in approach to runway 21. 21. 6, all altitudes have been cleared. You may start descent subject to captain's discretion. We know what kind of a jam you're in, 6. We have fire trucks standing by, as requested.
Give me altitude every 1,000 feet. When we go through 7,000, make it in increments of 500 feet.
Roger.
Chips, tell Jeannie to prepare the passengers for possible crash landing. Heads down between knees. All eyeglasses removed. All sharp objects out of pockets. And have all the women take off their high heels.
Right away, Captain.
It looks like a possible crash landing. Now you better prepare them.
Right. Let's go, Jimmy.
Watch the cabin pressure. I'm closing throttles for straight-in approach. Altitude, Joe.
You're 24,000. $20,000 feet. 18,000, Skipper. $16,000. 15,000 feet. 14,000. 13,000.
I just hope that kook, whoever he is, knows his business.
12,000.
It better be set for 4,000.
And if it wasn't, Skipper, we'll find out any time now.
11,000. $10,000 feet. 9,000. 8. 7,000.
Flaps 20.
6,500 feet, Skipper.
6,500 feet it is. Flaps 30. Down gear.
Gear coming down. Runway approach lights coming up, Skipper. $6,000 feet.
Flaps 40.
5,500 feet, Skipper.
Flaps 50.
Skipper.
Get Jeannie in here on the double.
Right.
Gentlemen and lady, welcome to Denver. 5,300 feet above sea level, and thanks be to God for every foot of it. All right, Jeannie, get everybody out of here. Use your foot if you have to, but out. Use all doors, emergency exits, and get the chute out.
Congratulations, Skipper.
I'm with the bomb disposal unit team here.
As soon as you're all cleared, well, we'll take a look-see.
I wish you luck. As can be perceived, we've already had our own look-see.
Well, they put them in some funny places on occasion.
I can believe it. Okay.
Captain Anderson, the chief pilot's been trying to get in touch with you, sir. All the circuits are busy now, but he'll be calling back probably momentarily. Did you stick around till he calls?
Yeah, just keep feeding us coffee.
It's quite an experience up there, wasn't it?
You know it. Joe, you got a smoke?
Yeah, there should be one left.
Yeah. Oh, last one? Wait a minute. I think I've got an extra pack in here someplace. The baggage is unloaded. There's nothing on the plane that we could find. Probably in a piece of luggage. If there's any place at all. I don't think you're going to find it in the luggage. Take a look in there. Remember it, Joe? I left it back by the counter right after we left operations. How long? I don't know. Maybe 5, 10 minutes is all. That's when he planted it. At the very bottom of the bag, the very bottom. The last place on Earth. And the best.
Well, you can kiss it goodbye, Captain. It's leaving the premises.
Captain Anderson, the chief pilot's on the line now.
Anderson speaking.
Anderson, congratulations. Thought you might be interested to know the FBI found the guy that put the bomb on board. He was dead, though. Heart attack.
Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. But we've got 100 alive. See you later, Shay. Good night, boys.
Good luck, Captain.
See you, Skipper.
Very simple announcement for the public address system that there was a bomb aboard.
How goes it, Corporal?
That was pretty cool.
Any landing you walk away from. Isn't that it?
That's it.
Well, what was it like in the cabin? Was there much panic?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of panic. But listen, don't single me out because everybody did what they could to help.
Well, what did you feel, Mr. Doucette? Did you feel anything at all? Were you worried?
Well, what do you think, pal? Well, but I tell you, I'm sort of a fatalist. I mean, if it comes, it comes. But what you guys should be doing is talking to the captain and the crew and the...
Modest and generous. What more could you ask for?
You ought to catch him on television. He's really quite invincible.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Captain. Same to you.
Yeah, public appearance and performance.
Agent Thompson, please.
Hello, Liz.
Mac, I'm all right.
I know, kid, I know. Thank God, huh? Well, it's good to hear you. Let it out, baby. Go ahead, let it all out.